Hello, welcome to the Luminousz Ztarr channel. All of my Luminousz stars, welcome, welcome. Mwah. Thank you guys and gals so much for your subscription. Now, after covert narcissistic relationships, life may not seem very kind. People may not seem very kind. But when you change your mind, your life changes. Your behavior changes. Your perspective changes. So when it comes down to changing the programming that you're running, that's when all the planets line up. After being repeatedly let down and put down, yeah, that can leave somebody feeling very depressed, anxious. Maybe social anxiety is something you may be dealing with. But the bottom line is this: when we start slipping down into that rabbit hole, when we start finding ourselves in the sunken place, some of us are making the mistake of asking the wrong question. The wrong question is, why get out of the sunken place? The right question is, how do I get out of the sunken place? Okay, so do you take the red pill or do you take the blue pill? That red pill will have those rose-colored glasses coming off, and you will see about that rabbit hole. You'll see about that sunken place and not be in either. So by taking that blue pill, that'll keep you in the sunken place. It'll keep you slipping down that rabbit hole and not know what's going on at all. So after the narcissist leaves you in the sunken place, they may leave you slipping down that rabbit hole because they've deserted the relationship. They've gone on a new supply. A lot of us don't fathom that he or she is already planning the successful hoover. It's the hoover before the hoover. They use the flying monkeys. They start talking to you. You know, why aren't y'all talking? What's going on between you two? Or why don't y'all get along? You know, I saw so-and-so the other day. They asked about you. All of that is to set you up for the hoover. This is what keeps you slipping down the rabbit hole. This is what keeps you in the sunken place. Because should they succeed with hoovering you back in via their flying monkeys, what happens is that you ask why instead of how. As long as you ask why the narcissist treated you the way they did, then that's just like you being in that rabbit hole, being within that sunken place and looking up at the narcissist and cluster B personality type and expecting them to get you up out of that place. See, the narcissist and cluster B personality type, they're not going to be looking for you out there in the world, living, loving, making plans, willing and dealing, doing some things, building some things, living your life. No, they're not going to look for you there. They're going to look for you where they left you. And that's down the rabbit hole. That's within the sunken place, picking up the pieces, not knowing what's going on. That's where they're going to look for you. So they're going to start sniffing around. Should they want a successful hoover, should they attempt a successful hoover, the narcissist and cluster B personality type, they're going to be sniffing around. They're going to be sniffing around like that wolf. They're going to be like, you know, just a picture of a dog sniffing on the ground. When they come across a particular ditch, that's the sunken place. That's the rabbit hole. And they see you down there and they know that you're primed for source supply. Again, the correct question is, how do I get up out the sunken place? Not why do I get out the sunken place? So when a person feels hopeless, they may ask, well, why even come up out the sunken place? Instead of asking, how do I come up out the sunken place? Because I got some living to do. See, the narcissists, they know why they got the supply from you. So when you go to them and you ask them, why did you get supply from me? Or why did you do this to me? Well, they're salivating. They're like that wild dog. Again, that wolf looks down at the sunken place. They're looking down that ditch and they see prey. So when you ask why, you put yourself in that position. You're still in the sunken place. You're still slipping down the rabbit hole. And you have yet to take the rose-colored glasses off. You have yet to pop that red pill. Now, I'm not promoting drug abuse on this channel. I want to make that clear. This is just an analogy. These are just examples of my point, okay? Just like Kanye West said in Black Skinhead, I'm aware I'm a wolf. So the narcissists, they know why they got the supply from you. But when you ask how they got the supply from you, then you come up out of the sunken place. You're no longer slipping down that rabbit hole because you've taken off the rose-colored glasses. You know about the sunken place. You know about the rabbit hole because you've been there. But now you're out living your life. The narcissist doesn't expect that. So when they see you out living your life, they shook. And they also know they can't get you back in. They can't hoover you back in. No matter how many flying monkeys they send, you have become unhooverable. So instead of asking why come up out the sunken place, ask yourself, how do you come up out the sunken place? Because when you look at how the narcissist did what they did to get the supply from you, then that's how you answer that question. That's how you can know how to come up out the sunken place. But when you ask them why they did what they did, well, that's just like you being in the sunken place, looking up and asking, why even get out of the sunken place? We have to be mindful of how we play that switcheroo. Because the narcissist and cluster personality type, see, they are hijacking your identity while you're claiming theirs. You're claiming their true identity, which is that of a person who can be very Machiavellian. They can be very cold, deceiving. See, you're taking all of that on. So when a person internalizes instead of identifying what the narcissist is doing in the relationship, you know, all of the shenanigans, all the diabolical tactics, all of this drama and conflict is going on, and you're like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And I feel badly about it. See, you often are operating from a higher vibrational frequency because you're able to empathize with people. You're able to sympathize. You have the capacity to love. You have the capacity to care. It's being exploited. You express, the narcissist exploits. So in the middle of all that, you may be missing what's actually going on. So when they come around you with their energy, this is called the energy transference. They have a lower level of energy. They have a lower level of consciousness. They're in a lower vibration while you're in a higher. It's natural for you to feel joy, to feel gratitude or express gratitude, to express love. You have the capacity to care. See, those are higher vibrational frequencies. And the narcissist, or cluster personality type, they come around and the energy transference takes place because you sharing a space. So when they come around, they're coming with a lower vibration, such as hatred or contempt, okay? Anger, strife. They narcissistically rage. So they're coming to you with that energy. That's a part of their true identity. Your true identity is having the capacity to love, to care, to nourish. That's a part of your true identity. And so energy transference is you swap that. When you come into the same space, you swap it. So you end up paying debts that you never owed. So when karma comes around looking for that debt to collect that debt, you're buffering the narcissist by internalizing their identity as they hijack yours. Okay, so you start feeling down and out while they tend to feel a little bit better after they've goaded you into a heated argument. You ever notice that? That's because the energy transference is taking place. And this is involuntary. Energy transference cannot be helped. It cannot be avoided. It's going to happen when you come into contact with other people. So if they tend to be of a lower vibration, you can internalize that. That's what internalizing means. That means you're claiming their identity. You're claiming what's not yours, and you're claiming who you're not. It's like you're taking the narcissist's identity and you're wearing it like a coat. You're putting it on. And in exchange, they're taking your identity, your higher vibration, and they're putting it on. That's why some of us feel like we'll continue to pay a debt that we never owed when we're dealing with the narcissist and cluster personality type, because that switcheroo is happening. We're not identifying we're internalizing instead. And this is men and women. This is not a female thing. Now, maybe most females do this when they're dealing with this type of relationship, a codependent narcissistic relationship. Maybe there are more females that do this, but there are some men who have done this too. Okay, so when you're in a room or you're sharing a space with somebody of a lower vibration, the energy transference can happen. So when karma comes to collect the debt, it doesn't care about who was right and who was wrong. We care about who was right and who was wrong. We're comprising of energy. So it's energy, vibration, and frequency. And that's what it really boils down to. So when you take on the energy, the vibration, and the frequency of the narcissist, when karma comes around, karma not gonna stop and ask, okay, who was right, who was wrong? Karma identifies frequency, energy, and vibration, no matter who's wearing it, no matter who's taking it on. So be mindful of internalizing. My overall message with this point is to become mindful, love yourself enough to become mindful of the energy you're taking on, of the vibration you're taking on, and what frequency dial you're turning up or turning down. Be mindful of that. Okay, so be mindful of taking on the energy of the narcissist. This is how we become buffers for them. The number one way you can make sure you don't do that is to ask how instead of why. Don't ask them why they have treated you like they have. Because see, they understand, they know, they are aware that they are who they are. They're aware of it already. So when you ask them what they already know, that gives them another chance to lie to you. But when you ask, you don't even have to ask them really. When you see how they do what they do, that leaves them starving. They can't work with that because that gets you up out of the sunken place and you're no longer slipping down that rabbit hole. When they start calling you names, when they start pulling shenanigans, when they start blaming you for stuff and you're internalizing that, you feel bad, you know, you're going down, you're sinking down in that sunken place. It's hard to feel joy. It's hard to feel the love. They're taking that on for themselves. So that's why they often feel better or they seem to relax after you have become reactionary and they've goaded you into an argument. That happens a lot. That's because of the energy transference. You're internalizing their true self or their true identity while they're hijacking your true identity. See, when the narcissist points to you and they falsely accuse you of not being loving, not being caring, not being kind, in other words, everything that they're being, what's happening is that when you internalize that, it's like you have the word love by your name and you erase it and you put unlovable because you truly are loving. And what they do is they take that. Okay? They take that. So what they put by their name is lovable. They scratch out unlovable and they put lovable. So what's happening is that you're swapping. That's what the energy transference does. And it's involuntary. You have to mind the company you keep. You have to mind who you interact with. This is what we all supposed to do anyway. So when karma comes to collect the debt, just make sure you're not being a buffer for the narcissist because they've hijacked your true identity and you claim theirs. Stop claiming what doesn't belong to you and stop claiming who you're not. Tool number 1, take off the rose-colored glasses and consider taking the red pill. Again, not promoting drug addiction. By taking off the rose-colored glasses and taking the red pill, it will clarify some things for you. It will give you a clear perspective on what's going on with you within a codependent narcissistic relationship. Tool number 2, give yourself permission to live your life on your own terms. What are you going to do to take care of yourself? How are you going to come up out of that sunken place? Stop asking why. Start asking how. Start finding out how. See, when you ask why come up out the sunken place, then you're probably going to remain stuck there. Instead of asking why come up out the sunken place, ask yourself how you got in the sunken place. Because once you can see how you got in, you'll know how to get out. So give yourself permission to pursue happiness, to live your life on your own terms. Forgive yourself. Don't put the narcissist before yourself. Sure, you can forgive, but don't put him or her before yourself. Forgive yourself. Tool number 3, remember, you don't owe the narcissist or the cluster B personality type your life. You don't owe them anything, okay? You've gone through an ordeal. You cannot change those who have a narcissistic personality. You cannot change those who have a cluster B personality type, such as a histrionic, a borderline personality, an antisocial personality, and like I said, a narcissistic personality. You can't change them. You're not on the planet for that. Your life has purpose. They can't seem to forgive or forget that you are the one that got away, especially if you are the one that got away. They tend to not forgive that. This is why your forgiving doesn't have anything to do with anyone else, let alone the narcissist. It's a gift to you. So, you know, you're not obligated. You don't owe him or her anything. So when you want the closure, make sure that you give yourself that gift. You never needed the narcissist for the closure. You only desired them for the closure. But as I stated before, as long as you ask why, that's another way of looking at that. Asking the narcissist why he or she does what they do. No, look at how they do it. All right, I hope everyone has enjoyed this video. Please post your comments, check the description box below, and don't forget to like and or share this video. Until next time, take care of yourself.